Alright guys, welcome back. It is, I don't know what time it is, anyway, it's dinner time. And I'm going to do a mixture of vegetables to do a bit of prep. And then throw in some noodles with perhaps a little bit of sauce. I do have some random sauces still in my fridge that I want to use. And if I need to, I'll add in some extra herbs and spices from in my cupboard as well. So I'm just going to start by slicing up some of these chestnut mushrooms. There's never any particular rhyme or reason to the way that I do chop these up. So they do always end up being pretty mashed up. And I have also got some sesame oil going already in my wok as well. And so in a moment I will pop these mushrooms straight into there, just so that they can start to soften down. Then I'll do the garlic and the ginger as well. This is definitely one of my sort of quick go-to meals when I'm definitely not 100% sure on what I want to cook, when I'm not sure what I want to eat. I do technically have a meal plan for the week that I am filming this, and this it has sort of been on it in terms of doing a sort of a noodle dish, but definitely not completely in there. So I am just kind of winging it a little bit this week based on, like I said, the time I'm filming it. You might see it quite a little bit later based on my filming schedule, but my mental health definitely hasn't been the most fantastic, so it has been turned into a lot of quick on-the-go meals, comfy meals, but also the ones that provide me with a bit of nutrition, because once upon a time, if I used to feel this sad, I would simply just end up going for really bad food, or not even necessarily really bad food, but definitely not food that would aid me in feeling better in the long run in terms of sort of mentally. It's obviously a problem. So now I do try to make sure that I stick to things that will provide me with a little bit of nutrition and goodness and balance to everything as well. So I'm just finishing sorting this garlic out. I don't think I've had such a difficult to deal with garlic clove in quite a while. But there we go. I'm so used to just being able to like peel them off in a matter of moments. I'm not sure what's going on with these two today, but I have managed to do that. I know that now have loads of pieces of garlic stuck under my nails as well, but there we go. And there we go, and I've given my mushrooms a quick stir. Do that, and then I should have somewhere, once I finish whacking my second camera, there we go, have my garlic press, so I can just pop all of this straight into the wok that's just off camera for you. There we go. Give that a quick stir. And I'll keep that there a moment because I do want to pop some of this ginger in here as well. Now I do have to ask, what's everyone's opinions on peeling ginger? See, if I was putting it into a smoothie or something, I probably wouldn't bother. But obviously when I am doing it as a stir fry, I'm much more likely to. But do we actually have to? Like, it's obviously a bit woodier and a bit more barky. But are we supposed to? Is there like badness, or can we just get away with giving it a good wash? And I think I've just managed to break my garlic press. I normally always do ginger in it as well, so it isn't like me trying to save time and that's been a mistake. Okay. Well, good job me. Right, that's a future me problem. I think I need to open my window because, as I've mentioned a few times in a few videos, my smoke detector hates me. So if I suddenly randomly cut this video, it will mean that it's not being happy at me doing this dish. Right. Let me stick these out of the way. Okay. And I'm going to throw these straight in here. They're already losing the will to live a little bit. They tried and they haven't done very well in trying because they're older than they should be. I'm just going to top and tail this carrot. The bits in this bag out the way. And then I'm just going to grate these using the big grate side to get some strands. I'll just be doing that over here for you. So I'm just doing it into kind of, let me grab one just to be able to show you. Just doing it into kind of this size piece. Sort of into ribbons, but not proper ribbons, because I am terrible with using this side of my grater. But it's a lot quicker than doing super small pieces. So I just tend to go with it. Give it all another good mix. And it's always super hard for me to tell whether I'm actually going to want a whole carrot or not until I actually go to start grating it. So I might end up grating some of this and then putting the rest of it back into the fridge. We'll see how I get on, especially once I've got to still put the pepper in here as well. Alright, there we go. I think that will do. That's probably just over half of this carrot, something like that. So I do just have this amount left. I'm going to pop back into the fridge so I can have it at some point tomorrow and give this pan another good mix up and recover the rogue piece of carrot that I have flown everywhere as well. Pop this onto here. And that does just leave me with this pepper. And I see so many people cook peppers different ways, and for me it depends very much on how I intend to be using it and whether I need it to be a really accurate size or not. In this case I don't. Let me add these bits into here as well. Let me just stick that over there. There we go. Do something to try to keep that pan with a bit of moisture. But for me, doing that method definitely works better because I can just pull this out and stick that here. Now I can just chop this up super quickly. And I'll always tend to do longer strands of pepper for something like this because obviously it tends to lose quite a lot of moisture content and shrink down quite a lot. Also the bits that do remain will then hopefully keep a little bit of bite to them versus everything else as well, just to give it a little bit more texture. Nearly chopped my finger, that would not have gone down well. Right, and stick this into here as well. And I say that is meaning that now this is sort of steaming up and stuff a little bit more. So let me just show you it now that I have got it all in the pan here. This has got it all in this wok, and I've reduced the heat on it quite a lot. I said because I don't want my smoke alarm going off today. Otherwise I would have had it on a higher temperature. If you're still here, then please do consider liking and subscribing. And you're getting involved in the comments below. I'd love to know what your kind of quick go-to sort of stir-fry-esque meal is as well. I'm always looking for inspiration for the kind of quick, simple go-to things. Sort of like what sauces do you put in them, or what vegetables do you find work well together or an absolute disaster to go together. So I definitely think that there are some that are better than others as well. Now I'm just going to get things like some soy sauce, some technically sweet chili dipping sauce, but I want to use it up, and then I have a bit of sriracha here as well that I want to use. So I'm going to pop in the soy sauce now. It's probably about 2 tablespoons worth, and then I'll put in a bit of this sriracha that I have as well, and then see how much of this actual sweet chili dipping sauce I can get out. I think the answer is probably going to be not a huge amount because there isn't much actually left in the jar or bottle in the first place. Let's see here if I can get any out at all. Yeah, hardly any. Right, let's get rid of this before I forget and put everything else back into the fridge. And then I will add in some spices as well. I do have some sort of Chinese 5 spice and stuff that I might add into it. And then I will move it from the heat. It'll still continue with the residual heat whilst I get some noodles ready as well. But let me find that spice now. This mixed spice, is it here? Yes, it is. Wow, if I can not have my black pepper, decide now would be the perfect time to leap out of the cupboard. Okay, there we go. Let's get this added in. Add quite a lot of it normally because it's just, I quite enjoy the flavours of it. I know it's hit and miss for a lot of people as to whether they do enjoy Chinese spice flavours because of the sort of the star anise and things that are sometimes in it. But I do find that it is one that works for me, so I do just normally go with that. All right, there we go. All right, there we are. And I will now just, like I said, turn the heat off, but keep it on there. And whilst I'm figuring it out. All right, guys, I'm going to use some of these konjac noodles. So I do just need to open them, drain them, and give them a rinse for a few minutes before I can then pop them into the wok pan as well. All right, so I'm just going to do that. Never had this particular type of noodle before, but I've had them for quite a while. And when I say quite a while, I mean probably longer than I should have done. I did get them at one point when I was on an adventure to Lidl and I thought, oh, they sound fantastic. And they do, but it's also definitely one of those hit and miss meals to make in terms of having the courage to do it. And for some reason, they put them in extra separate packaging, which I'm sure does make sense in terms of them obviously being in the liquid and making it a bit more safe. But when you then see how small the package is, you sometimes got to question why they do it. Right, so I have put those into my sieve just to make sure that they do all stay everywhere in terms of where they should. Now I'm just going to give them a good rinse. I'm not too sure, you know. How are you supposed to know that they're fully rinsed? Is it when they're coming out fully clear? Is it just after a good couple of minutes in general? Now, what is the judge here? I think this water's already coming out clear. Who knows? Okay. Well, there we go. They are definitely well rinsed now. Obviously did speed that up a little bit for ease. Okay. Okay, and there we go. Okay, and now I was just double checking the instructions, and it does say to do it for approximately 2 minutes in a frying pan. So now that I had turned that heat off for a while, I am just going to pop these back in here. Put that down, move my sieve out of the way, and let's see how we get on doing these. Hopefully it works out all right. Hopefully. Otherwise I'll end up picking them out at dinner and being very grumpy about it. Right, and I'm just going to leave those there for a few minutes without trying to do anything to them. Yeah, let's see here. Okay. I mean, they look pretty inoffensive. They didn't really have much of a smell to them, so that's definitely an advantage. Let me just take a look. I think that it has a very specific thing in it. It is a, yeah, so it uses konjac root flour. I believe these noodles do also have another flavour, not another flavour, another name to them. I'm just not, I can't remember exactly what the name is off my top of my head. But, you know, the packet makes them look really fancy, the way that they're all like twisted up. In my head, I thought they were going to come kind of twisted up like that. I'm not too sure why, but it was just the kind of mental thought process that I had with it. So, can't always predict these things, I suppose. Obviously, it makes sense that they might have made them look fancier for the actual packaging, but it's also very easy for it to therefore be a complete misrepresentation of what you're expecting to get. Wow, so they definitely soaked up a lot of that liquid and everything as well. Like, they've made them go into a funny sort of colour. So I'm going to give them a few more minutes. Imagine it's the kind of thing that if you don't cook fully, you will end up with kind of like indigestion or a grumpy tummy and stuff from them. So I'm just going to leave that for, like I said, for a few more minutes, and then I'll catch up with you as I'm serving up. Right, and it is now time to serve it up. Noodles definitely took on a reasonable amount of colour. I left them for a few minutes longer than it technically said that I needed to, but I just wanted to make sure that they were definitely cooked. It said to do it on sort of a medium temperature, and I believe a medium temperature is pretty varying depending on oven to oven. And for me, my hob is definitely on the lower side sometimes, so I wanted to put them on medium for a while, and then I decided to turn it up a little bit more. I'm just going to drag that sauce onto there as well. But the good thing about Konjac noodles is that they're actually sort of viewed as being a really low-calorie noodle. This entire thing of them is like 60 calories or something. I will obviously pop the actual amount of calories on there later. But yeah, this obviously doesn't look fantastic, and it's definitely not. It's definitely kind of a pretty basic meal, but it's definitely one of those mental health nourishing kind of meals without too much effort. So if you did enjoy them, come back again for another recipe video soon. I also do grocery shop videos once a week as well, just a general summary of what I did eat in a week. And like I say, you'll probably be seeing this recipe far after I actually did cook it. But I am trying to get everything more in sync with sort of all of my content. But yeah, super simple. So I'm going to hopefully enjoy this. I'll find out whether I do actually like these noodles in a few moments. And if I don't, or if I do even, I will try and leave a little thing on the video for you somewhere or down in the description as well. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all again soon.